Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. You're still watching Rapid On right here on Rapid Television. Right now it's time for the big conversation. My name is Victor. Okay.
My name is Martha Alo. Welcome to the big conversation this Tuesday morning. All eyes are turned to Osun State, and this morning we'll take a swipe through that as well.
Definitely, and of course, the countdown to the Osun State governorship election is almost over. On August 15th rather, voters across the state will decide who occupies the government house in Oshobo for the next 4 years. And this is an interesting election because the incumbent governor, Ademola Adeleke, is no longer running under the PDP. Now he is seeking another time on the platform of the Accord Party. The APC is presenting Bola Oyebamiji, while the ADC is fielding former Speaker of the Osun State House of Assembly, Najim Salam. Although there are 14 candidates that are on the ballot, the contest has increasingly become a three-way battle. Now the campaigns are over. Of course, the promises have been made. The political machinery is now moving into its final phase. INEC says that they're ready. Political parties have signed a peace accord, but concerns remain around security, voter turnout, the use of technology, and perhaps, most importantly, whether all the parties will accept the outcome of the result, or if the result does not go their way. So there are questions that are coming to mind. What does the APC really see on the ground? Is this an election the party genuinely believes it can win, and what does it believe will ultimately determine what or the winner would be? And of course, again, we see that the Inter-Party Advisory Council, IPAC, also called on political parties, candidates, and security agencies, and other stakeholders to ensure a free, fair, and transparent election. And we had our correspondent, Godwin Sunday, of course, who covered that report, and he has more to tell us before we dive into the conversation.
With just days to the Osun State governorship election, the Inter-Party Advisory Council is raising the stakes on the need for a credible and peaceful electoral process. Following its General Assembly meeting, the umbrella body of registered political parties says the August 15 poll must be determined by the freely expressed will of the people.
IPAC unequivocally call on all stakeholders to ensure that the 15th August 2026 Osun governorship election is conducted in a manner that is free, transparent, fair, credible, peaceful, and acceptable to the people of Osun State. The election must be a genuine contest of ideas, policies, programs, and the popularity of candidates and political parties.
Against the backdrop of what it described as heightened political tension in Osun State, IPAC is appealing to political leaders to lower the temperature. The council wants political actors to exercise restraint and statesmanship, insisting that the people of Osun State should not bear the consequences of political disagreements.
The ultimate determinant of the outcome must be freely expressed will of the people of Osun State through their votes. The people of Osun must be allowed to exercise their constitutional right to choose their governor without intimidation, harassment, inducement, violence, manipulation, or undue interference. IPAC therefore urges every political actor to place the peace, stability, and democratic future of Osun above partisan and personal interest.
As the August 15th elections near, IPAC says credibility depends on the entire process, not just voting, and urge all stakeholders to reject violence and ensure a peaceful, credible election on August 15th. In Abuja, Godwin Sunday, reporting for
Well, of course, that's the report there. IPAC calling, also urging residents of Osun State to come out and vote, and of course, while stating that the election has got to be free, fair, and credible. Over the past few weeks, there has been allegations of violence going on within the state of Osun, or Osun State precisely. I would recall that the IGP, Disu, was in Osun State, and he made certain statement. He said to the Osun people that this is an election and not war. And of course, he was basically having that conversation with members of various political parties, talking to them, encouraging them. Of course, seeking that the election should be free, fair, and credible. Do recall as well that the former commissioner, was replaced by an electoral commissioner of police, basically, who is not going to be taking charge of the elections in Osun State. And reason being because Osun people, political parties, complained about that particular commissioner, and that's the reason why he was replaced by an electoral commissioner of police for the election come August 15th, 2026. But of course, our fingers are crossed to see what the outcome for the election is going to be, come August 15th, 2026. And we're looking forward to seeing that. INEC said that they are ready, and of course that they have deployed, or they are ready, the beavers. They have quite a number of beavers available, and they have more than necessary, according to the conversation we have with them in previous time, for the election that is going to be happening on the 15th of August 2026. Because we are going to be joined very soon by our guest to discuss on this particular matter. But before then, let's go for a very quick break. When we'll come back, we'll dive straight into the conversation. To stay with us. Welcome back. The momentum for the Osun governorship election is on the high side, and of course there's been various talks concerning that election, as INEC once again said that they are ready for the election. But of course there's been quite a number of things going on in Osun State. There has been accusations and allegations of violent activities going on in the state. Various political parties, both the APC and the ADC, the Accord Party, basically accusing one another of being perpetrators of that violence. But of course, again, the IGP, Olatunji Disu, when he traveled down to Osun State, made a statement and said, this is an election. This is not war. And of course, that also led to the peace accord that was signed on July 30th, where candidates, various political parties, signed the peace accord, committing themselves to a peaceful election. And that is actually a very important thing to do at this point in time, of course, because everyone wants the election to be peaceful. But I think we're joined now by our guest, who is an APC chieftain, and currently in Osun State. And our guest is Oyeleke Idris Olayinka. Good morning to you and welcome to the conversation.
Yeah, good morning, sir. Good morning, everyone in the studio.
Yeah,
Good morning.
Good to have you join us. Let's begin with the big concern. You're
right.
welcome. Olayinka, let's begin with the big concern there in Osun State. The National Peace Committee, of course, identified 15 local government areas as violence risk areas in Osun State. Now, the IGP also said that more than 20 people have been killed over a number of months building to the election. Now, in your assessment, your ground, you're also a member of the opposition. What has gone wrong with Osun politics today?
Yeah, thank you very much for having me once again. I'm very glad to be here with you. And going straight to the question you asked, elections do come and go. One of it is Osun State peculiarity that we have, is of the circle election. What I mean by off the circle election, every governance has always been for 4 years. But that of Osun State got truncated in 2010 when the then governor, Prince Olaguso Ilola, was asked to hand over to Ogbeni Rauf Aregbesola in 2010. So since then, our election has totally off the cycle, and that's why that's why we've been having our election, governorship election in particular, some months to the general election. So that has been the case since 2010. Now, fast forward to where we are presently. Now, go straight to your question. You see, every politics is local. Every politics is local. If you agree with me, generally in Nigeria now, there are some issues, though the president has been able to contain some. So, contain some in terms of insurgency, banditry, kidnapping here and there. Okay. So, bringing that one to Osun State, every actor, every individual, every politics that is local, like I said, they want to to take advantage of what is happening generally in the country. And Osun State, being election period, the incumbent is trying to seek for re-election. Our own candidate, the candidate of All Progressive Congress, Asiwaju Muniruddin Bola Oyebanji Ambo, is equally doing everything possible to make sure that the mantle is taken away from the incumbent governor Ademola Adeleke. So with that, you expect there will be some issues. There will be some course, there will be some areas, just as I mentioned, according to the Peace Accord Committee, that there are 15 local government areas that are flashpoints. So all these things, they are normal thing to happen. The incumbent will not want to leave. The person coming will want to take the power, because power is not served as rice in canteen or as bread in the market.
Mr. Laika, let me quickly jump in there. Did you say that violence is normal in an election? It should be a normal thing in an election.
Not at all. That's not what I'm saying. But you, as a Nigerian, you agree with me that when elections are coming like this, there are some issues that comes with election. Some of the issues are the fact that the incumbent will not want to leave, like I said. The one coming will want to take the power, because power is not given, it is taken. Okay. So some elements, some miscreants, some people with some kind of motive who want to use that advantage to perpetrate their own evil. Just for example, when we're in the university, when we are trying to have a peaceful peaceful protest, some individuals will sit down somewhere. They want to use advantage of that peaceful protest to cause pain. So the same thing is coming to election period like this. Some individuals are there, their motive is to cause issue in any community, and they want to take advantage of any situation that they find themselves to be able to now achieve their aim. So Osun State election that is coming in this time, some people are taking advantage of causing issue in Osun State. And I want to tell you that we are peaceful in Osun State. We are law-abiding citizens. We don't have issue. We have been going about our campaign, our activities strategically, peacefully, without any rancor. So whoever has been causing mayhem, causing issue, should go and answer his or her father's name.
All right,
Thank you very much.
All right, Mr. Olayinka, since we're talking about peaceful elections now, candidates signed a peace accord in Oshogbo, and the INEC chairman did say that troublemakers would meet disruption with the full underlying weight of the law. That was what the INEC chairman had said. And we know for peace accords in Nigeria, we have a history of signing these accords and abandoning whatever the accord says and just going on to do what we want to do. I mean, that's a history we have here in Nigeria. Now, I'll ask you, as an APC chieftain, what would you personally do if your candidate Oyebanji does not emerge as the governorship the governor rather of Osun State this Saturday? Would you honor that accord? Would you concede to the pressure of wanting your candidate to be governor at all costs? Is this just a ceremonial sign or signature?
Let me create one inflection.
All right.
Of yours there. We are not going to this election to contest. We are going to this election to contest and win. So the idea of our candidates not winning election is not even there at all. We are winning this election. We are winning this election peacefully.
Why contest if you already go there to win? I think the ballot decides that. You contest, and then the collation of the results determines whether you win.
I have not said we have won. It's a matter of English. Okay. Are you there? I have not said we have won. I am saying we are winning. We are winning. I didn't say we have won. Are you there? So we are winning this election. And of course, whatever happens between 7 a.m. on Saturday till 4 p.m. when the electoral empire will close the voting exercise will determine. So with the strategy we have put in place, with the peaceful campaign we have been doing, we are doing and will be doing till the window closes, we are sure of victory. So that's why I said we are going in this election to win.
My question is, if you don't, what happens if you don't? That's the question. If you don't, because like I said, the
There's
ballot,
nothing.
the ballot. Hold on, Mr. Olainka. The ballot decides that. Okay. So I know there's a
Yeah.
part of being hopeful as
Yeah.
political proponents. You know,
Exactly.
there's a part of being hopeful. But my question to you is, if you do not, because you don't know the entire mind of the entire Osun people, so if you don't, would you be willing to concede? It is one thing to say, sound very hopeful, to say
confident, right.
exactly confidence and say we're going to the ballot, we will take it, we will win, but you don't get to decide that. The
Exactly.
people of Osun decides that, and that's why, in fact, for INEC's campaign, mostly you would see Osun decide, not you as a supporter of whichever candidate you're fielding.
Truly.
You're not the one who gets to determine what happens at the ballot that day. So that peace accord, and I think that a lot of Nigerians or politicians don't even understand what the peace accord means. You see, and we saw one president in Nigeria honor that accord, and which would be President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, who even called, you know, before everything was concluded. So most of these people just sign these things and don't have a full understanding on what the accord is like. So if you are not even making room for the possibility of whether or not you will get it, it means that,
You know, those are questions to be answered. But
Hello?
I guess back.
All right, welcome back.
Going back to your question,
yes,
yeah, you see, this is not the first election we're going into as a party. As a party,
yeah,
we have engaged in several elections. This will not be the first, it will not be the last by the special grace of God. We had election in this state in 2022, where our candidate was rigged out. Yes, where our candidate was rigged out with the machineries put in place by the present government of the state. Okay? And if it did not fall, we accepted it wholeheartedly. Nobody was killed, no house was burned, everybody went, we accepted our fate, and we went back home to go and re-strategize. And it's part of our strategy that is bringing what we are saying here to you. That this election, the one coming in few days' time, we are winning. But going back what you have said, that the peace accord that was signed, of course, we are peacemaker. We are very peaceful in our party. We are law-abiding citizens. We will not, okay, if we are not, the citizen of Osun State, in particular, and Nigeria in general, that we are aiming, we are planning everything possible to govern. So if we don't take their interest into consideration, so would we want to govern when we get the mantle of leadership by the special grace of God? So what I'm saying here is that the peace accord that was signed, we were there, we signed the peace accord. So definitely we are going to abide with everything we have put on paper, every signature we have put on the accord. And I'm using this opportunity to reach out to the other party that when they lose the election on Saturday or Sunday, they too should accept their fate. They should accept it as the will of God, because they danced yesterday, so it is their turn now to be at the spectator side and be watching those who will be dancing on the floor, not the dance of the other man, as you said.
All right, Olainka.
I said.
As we all know, anyway. So what I'm saying here in summary is that we are winning this election.
All right.
Thank you very much.
All right, we get your confidence there, but let's come quickly to the arrest of the Osun SSG. You know, according to the reports, the police said they recovered 4.81 million naira, 2 PVCs, and a voter register from his residence. Now, the government, of course, said that the operation was politically motivated. Now, what is your understanding of what happened in Osun State regarding this particular matter?
You see, when a child is not brilliant, when the child is not brilliant, it is natural that it's not brilliant, and he goes to school. Out of 10, he scored 9, and you are blaming the child. You know that naturally the child is not brilliant. going back to what happened in Osun State to the present SSG, or let me say the outgoing SSG, it is totally uncalled for. And you know, like, it is established. All these law enforcement agencies, they know how they do their work. When the arrest happened, when the arrest was made, that will not be the first time they've been carrying out some in the compound, in the house, or within the environment of the person that was arrested. So the law enforcement agency, in particular Nigeria Police Force, had done what they think is best for them to do to make sure that the election is peaceful. Don't forget, your colleague just asked me that the peace accord that was signed, will our party abide peace accord if what she's thinking happen, which I said that's not going to happen anyway. So in the process, in ensuring that there is a peaceful election in Osun State, the police is responsible to make sure that the election is peaceful. The police is responsible to make sure that every citizen of the state come out on Saturday, 15th of August, God's willing, to come and cast their vote, to come and perform their civic responsibility. So in ensuring that the police will continue to carry out all this search, they will continue to make sure that where allegation has been made, where information has been given to them, as per some elements doing some shady things, definitely they have the power, they are constitutionally empowered to make sure that such area is searched, such person is invited for questioning. And as you can see it was invited, the SS was invited. A day after, he was released after police had carried out their due diligence as far as that issue is concerned.
All right. Mr. Olayinka, thank you so much for being
Hello?
here. Yes, can you hear us? Can you hear us?
I can do that. I can hear you.
All right, let's go.
I can hear you. I can see you.
That's fine. Let's go to the next question. Now, INEC says it is fully ready. 2.3 million voters, about over 4,000 beavers, backups, a signed peace accord, and an APC chieftain. Now, do you trust INEC's neutrality in this specific election, given how politically charged the last 2 weeks have been in Osun State?
If I will rate INEC neutrality on the scale of 100, I will give them 90.
Okay.
Yes, I'll give them 90. I have a reason for saying that. You know, they are the commission that have been scheduled with the responsibility of conducting peaceful, credible, fair, and all-inclusive election. So they have been scheduled with that responsibility. And just like I said, this is not the first one, and they will be conducting, and this will not be the last. So we should have trust in them. We should have trust in INEC to be able to give us a credible election. To be able to give us a credible election as far as Saturday is concerned. So I have trust INEC, and I believe they will not do something beyond the confidence we have in them. Thank you.
All right. And of course, for the coming election.
However, let me say this.
Go ahead.
However, let me say this. Yeah, I still want to use this opportunity to appeal to the same INEC that their name starts with independent. So we want them as much as possible to be independent, to be neutral.
Okay.
All right.
So since you have spoken about INEC and its neutrality now, let me take you to what had happened the last couple of weeks about the freezing situation, the freezing the account.
To be unbiased.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh no, your network makes it difficult to follow the sequence of the show this morning.
Yeah.
Are you with us now, Mr. Olayinka?
Yes, I'm with you now. I'm with you now.
All right, thank you very much. Now, I said, since you made mention of the fact of INEC's neutrality and you speaking about the fact that INEC should uphold the independence in its name, I would like to know what your take is on the freezing of the Osun State government account that just happened, a couple of days ago. What are your thoughts on that and, your stance regarding that?
I don't have a stand. I only have stand to the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The Constitution that empowers all the government agencies, including the commission that is regulating your activities here, Nigeria Broadcasting Commission.
Yeah.
Are you there? So all these agencies, they have been empowered by the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which is our guideline. So whatever Constitution has asked them to do is what they will do. And they have done that. And don't forget, the release that was made by the spokesperson of the commission, of EFCC, said that the exercise that was carried out was not just carried out in a jiffy, that they have been monitoring the activities of Osun State government since March this year. Come on, this is August. Meaning that they've been doing this for the past 5 months. And that is how they do their job. So we will not sit down here and try to question the authority that the EFCC have to go ahead to do what they did because they have the power to do so, and because they have their evidences, because they've been training the accounts of Osun State government for the past 5 months. And let me use this one. If I thought you don't say it, I will say it. Let me commend the efforts of our dear president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the Daban of Gobu, the president of Federal Republic of Nigeria, father to all. He came out sweetly rather, to say, oh, come on, what you have done is morally right, but politically, it is somehow wrong. So he asked the EFCC to quickly go back to court. You know, he didn't factor their power. He asked them to go back to the same court to go and obtain another injunction so as to unfreeze their accounts. And today, the government of Osun State are now having access.
Olayinka, are you still here with us? It's quite a struggle to have this conversation.
Yeah, I can't. So thank you for back to your.
Yeah, I think you've answered that question. Olayinka.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Right, I think you've answered that question. But let's move on to.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, let's move on to talking about some of the things that the APC did make mention about for the Osun State election. You said that, your party rather says that you need a change in Osun State. So my first question there is, what specifically is the strongest evidence that the state needs that change that you talked about?
Sorry, I didn't hear that clearly. Please, recap. Can you do a recap?
I'll do a recap now. The APC says that Osun needs a change in Osun State. Now, what specifically is the strongest evidence that the state needs a change?
I like this question. You know, when you are singing a bad song, nobody needs to tell you. You are using your ear to it. The government of the day, they themselves, they know they have performed below, far below the expectation of every sensible citizen of this country, of this state. They know themselves.
So, what? Oh my God! Because of the network issue, we just might have to let you go.
But indications are out there. We have the signs out there for us to.
Olayinka, we would love to continue this conversation, but the network is not letting us have a very proper conversation this morning, so we'll have to let you go. But thank you so much for being here with us. Olayinka is an APC chieftain. He's currently in Osun State, preparing for the election as well come Saturday 2026. Thank you so much, Olayinka, for your time with us.
Thank you so much.
Hopefully we'll get to reconnect with you some other time for a proper conversation. But
thank you very much for having me. Yeah, I want to say this.
The network won't let you say
it. I would be out of where I am today. Okay. I will move down to.
Okay, go on.
Right, so, can you hear me now?
Yes, please go on.
So, like I said, I will be out of where I will be out of where I am today. I will move to another town where I think network will be more okay. Right, so probably we can schedule this for tomorrow again.
All right, we'll talk about that and then do a reschedule with you. But thank you for being here with us. I appreciate you again.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay, okay.
Bye for
Yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah. Thank you too. Thanks for having me. Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah, bye.
Of course, that's an APC chieftain. So confident that the APC will emerge victorious come Saturday, for the Osun State governorship election as it is. But of course, the people will decide who is going to emerge victorious come Saturday. Is it going to be Daleke who is going to be re-elected, or we are going to have the APC candidate Obamichi come on board, or
Najim.
Najim, the ADC, candidate as well. But all of this will be decided on Saturday. But most importantly, the concern is about security and all of that. Again, just to recount what the IGP said, when he traveled down to Osun State, he said to them, this is an election. It is not war. And the committee that was set up for the peace accord also identified 15 local government areas as flashpoint, and these are concerns that have been raised by members, residents of the society ahead of the election on Saturday.
You know something about, I would have really loved us to have, from these three major political parties
Of
have
course.
this conversation, because now we know the stance of Olainga. He said he trusts INEC, he says he trusts security, he
Yeah.
trusts all of that. Let us hear what he thinks, because when a person is not open to possibility, he already tells you the body language of that person already tells you what the attitude will be
Right.
like, and that is not concluding on a person. It is based on what you have shown. Look, anybody who goes to the battlefield or anybody who goes to the football field, at least you play football, you know
yeah.
this. There are two odds. It's either you win or you lose.
Exactly.
And every player, every honorable player or team player should have embraced that before getting to the battlefield,
Truly.
or should have embraced that before getting to the football field. But if you are unwilling to embrace that sort of, and by embracing that, I don't mean saying, oh, I'm going to fail, and all of those religious and Christianese we speak by the
Yeah.
special grace of God, there are
The possibilities.
So you need to be able to factor that in.
Right.
And I think that we don't even still really understand what the peace accord is saying. The reason for signing that is there are possibilities that you might not take the ticket.
Of course.
If you don't, please make sure your attitude towards that is not violent in any way.
Right.
But if you have failed to understand what that peace accord is like, by failing to embrace that single possibility, this is where crisis emanates from.
Truly.
This exactly is where it emanates. And I'm really hoping that with all of this political, there's been just like heavy political attention in Osun State in the
Surely.
last couple of weeks. I'm just really hoping that, this election comes and goes, and we're able to give credit to INEC for being able to hold it down for this by-election that will be going on in Osun State.
Very true. And of course, again, the tension is just so high. We've seen the PDP now endorse the APC candidate. And recall that the current governor of Osun State left the PDP to Accord Party, where he's recontesting now as governor, using the Accord Party as a platform. One would have thought maybe his former party would have given him his support, but we're saying, of course, that the PDP has given their support to the APC. And of course, past administration, past government has also very recently also given their support to the APC candidate. What would this mean for the people of Osun come Saturday? We're going to be here to keep you updated on all of these matters on Saturday. So we're going to be here live to cover the election. But of course, this is all we're going to be taking on today's segments of Rapid Done. I do remember that you can follow us on our social media pages across our platforms at Rapid TV, and you can get to rewatch our episodes on the YouTube platform, which is at Official Rapid TV. And wherever you are in the world, you can watch us live using our website, www.arabianradiotv.com. And we have a new edition which is on Free TV app. All you need to do is to download the application on your phone and search for Rapid Television, and we are going to be there with you on the go 24 hours a day. And of course, 24 hours, every single day right now. And we are going to keep you updated on everything that goes on within the country and the world at large. My name is Victor. Okay.
My name is Martha Alo. Thank you so much for joining us today. We will see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.